Hi, I'm Joshua Hamlin. This is Bosco. I'm going to show you today how to make bark containers. First step is to harvest the bark. I don't like killing trees, but I'm going to anyway. Sometimes you got to do things you don't like, just like killing animals. I don't like doing it, but I like to eat. So first thing we're going to do is harvest this bark. Now how to do that, move Bosco. You got to come down here and cut a line all the way through the bark. Of course, you can cut the tree down and do this too, which I will do later, but I'm trying to show you how to do it in an emergency situation. Okay, now we need some tools to get this off of here. So I'm going to take one of the branches here. I'm going to make what they call a spud. It's basically just a pry bar. This is a spud. Its purpose is just to slide under the bark. So, here's where our cut started. You take the spud, the wedge, stick it in there like so, and slide it down. Put the knife in a safe place. Slide it down like so. Now we can see here that it's not all the way through. Okay. We'll do the same thing again. Just go a little deeper this time. Work very carefully around knots like that. Look inside, you can see that's a knot right there. Now we need to make an eye cut. Only halfway through the bark. Through the outer bark, not the inner bark. So, I'm just guesstimating it. You can use a string to be more accurate. You make an eye shape like so. Can you see that? Now, we fold it on those cuts. Do the same on this side. And that's the bottom of the container. So, let me use your knife, Andrew. My knife's a little bit fat. His knife is a little bit thinner point. So we just come along the edge here. And just about 3/4 of an inch in, half an inch, start drilling holes. Don't pry. Prying will cause a crack. You just want to spin it in. And come on to the inside and see where that came through. Do the same thing, just spin it in. There's another tool we'll have to make, and I'll show you that in a second. Once I get this side carved, we'll tie this in place to hold it to shape while we do the rest of the holes. Okay, now another tool we're going to need is just a punch. That's basically it. Right there. The knife is very dull. The purpose of this punch is to push the string through the holes. It don't go through very easily. Okay, I brought some jute with me. You can also use the branches of this to tie it all together, but I like jute, it's a little bit stronger. Alright, I've drilled all the holes up both sides. Now we just got to tie it together. Now we tried really hard to make this look like it went right from one to the other, but actually the battery died on the camera last night. So we took it all home and then started again today. The bark curls as it gets dry, as you can see here. This is all curly, and it wasn't like that last night. But that's alright, I'll show you how to fix that. You have to anyway, because if you don't, it'll do that after you've made your basket. So first step is to lace it all up. Alright, now I've laced up the other side. Now what I'm going to do is go through and tighten up these laces. I'm just going to grab it and pull it just like you would your shoestrings. Tighten it up. Tighten it up. Tighten it up. Whoops, the string broke. It's okay. Enough there to do it. Okay. Now that it's pretty tight, I'm going to tie it in a little permanent knot. I have to because it's too short to tie in a temporary knot. Okay. Now I'm going to tighten up this side also. Same way. And tie this there. Pull it all tight. Now this is oddly shaped, if you notice. That's what we got to fix next. I'm going to slide it down to below the cracks level because I'm cutting that stuff off. You see, it's not fancy, it's not pretty. It is very effective though. So, I have a saw around here somewhere. Here it is. You can see the cracks right there, go down to there. So that's what I'm cutting off to. Cutting off to below this level. I'm doing this with a saw, but because to do it with a knife is really hard, it causes it to crack more. And saws help it not crack. Here's what we got so far. Now, we've got a pretty good basket shape going, a stick rim to hold the mouth open. Now I'd like to put an outside rim around it too. That just adds a little more stability and it looks really nice. Okay, well, that's not perfect. I didn't get all the outer bark off. It doesn't matter though, this is going to be the outside anyway. What I'm going to do is wrap this around the top and make a little rim. This adds strength, it adds shape, and it adds looks. It'll be like so. That'll be our finished basket. But first we have to drill holes all the way around this edge, right underneath of this rim. So, okay, now I got holes drilled all the way around, right under the rim. Now we gotta lace it. Whoops. I know we're making a mess out here. I promise you I'm going to clean all this up. I'm going to fix those trees up. I'm going to cut that tree down and use every bit of it for cordage, and I'm going to make a bow out of the wood and anything else I can think of. I'm not just going to leave that out here suffering up there. Okay. Now where's my punch? There it is. Cut this off. Get untangled. Okay. You gotta hold this on there very tight when you first start. Get next to the first hole. Push it through. This is holding not only the outside rim on, but also that inside rim. I always leave a good extra long piece hanging off so that when I get all the way around, I can retie to that piece. Alright, I've got all the way around. Now all we have to do is tie this last end piece to this beginning piece. Try and get it out of the way inside so it don't be a big eyesore. And that's basically it. We'll cut off all these extra pieces. One more thing though. Remember that loop piece I made earlier? This piece? As it's drying, stick it back in there. It's not a handle. It's just to help hold everything open as it dries, because it will try to close on you. And that's it. There it is, our completed basket. Now go make one.